Welcome back to the Chow Time Pod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from TikTok. Saga continues. A lot more men are starting to hate on the movement. I try to do as freshest videos as I can, and more men video are coming up hating on us. So please like and subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate that. And let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
Sex-starved men going out to prey on these third world women.
And I laugh when I see that, because what they're forgetting is that, okay, if you had a horrible dating experience with modern women in your space your entire life, guess what? Going to another country, the problems is you. No matter where you go in the world, you're still the problem. So you're still you. And you.
He thinks dating in all over the world is exactly the same as it is in the West. It is not. People in the West are here for a good time. People in other countries date for marriage. That's a huge difference off the bat. And you probably don't realize that because you don't travel yourself. And, most of these men aren't sick, starved men. You have no idea how easy it is for most men, or not most, for a good amount of men to get sex, or even most men. It's called paying for it. It's not hard to get sex. It's the relationships that we want to build with that we can't get.
You're coming off as very entitled and I deserve this, so I couldn't find what I want. The U.S. couldn't give you a woman, so you're going to another country. That's what you're fucking doing, man.
Me going somewhere to find what I want is entitlement. I don't expect to get this stuff by being here and just being a man. That would be entitlement. No, I am actively working and towards finding this and going towards these places and doing this. This is not entitlement. So are you saying that because I earn $1 million, I was entitled to that money because I earned it or worked towards it? That doesn't make sense.
We're a pretty diverse population here in the U.S. Sex-starved.
Yeah, we're pretty diverse, but traditions are starting to all intermingle to be the same thing. Shout out
Wesley
to Wesley
Snipes and Nak Young, Nikki Park have a love story that is both romantic and inspiring. The couple first met in 2000 when Park, a Korean artist, was working as a personal assistant on the set of Snipes' movie Gallowalker. Despite the language barrier, the two hit it off and soon began dating. Their relationship was not without its challenges, however. Park was living in South Korea at the time, and Snipes was based in the United States. The couple had to navigate a long-distance relationship, communicating mainly through phone calls and video chats. Despite the distance, their love for each other continued to grow. In 2003, Snipes and Park decided to take their relationship to the next level and tied the knot in a private ceremony in South Korea. The couple welcomed their first child, a son named Alafia, the following year. They later had 3 more children together: Iset, Alameu, and Akhenaten. Today, Snipes and Park are still happily married, celebrating over 18 years together. They continue to be a shining example of love and devotion, proving that true love knows no boundaries.
Great example. The man didn't have to travel. The woman was here doing some things with him, but she lived in the other country. And guess what? He went over there and did what he needed to do to get her. If there were women that were just as good as she was here, I don't see why he wouldn't have picked them. But there wasn't. He found this particular person to be quite different from all the women he met. This is why he pursued her.
These women will do everything in their power to not take responsibility.
Funny enough, it seems as though he's doing everything in his power to avoid a barber shop, but let's get into this video. If you
First, start off with shame. Got it. Understood.
haven't seen the stitch already, I would go watch that first and come back here. Disclaimer, if you don't do any things that I mentioned in this video, then I am not talking to you. With that being said, let's get into it. Pretty much, if you haven't heard about it already, there is a thing called passport bros, which are grown men with passports. Not too sure why that's such a big deal. You're an adult. Then again, the bar is in hell at this point. Imagine thinking you are a man of means and status simply for having a passport. Something a child can also obtain.
Another shaming. Just because kids can attain it, did they attain it themselves? No. They had to have parents of means to be able to get that for them. You have to be a person of means to have a passport to be able to travel. Not that many, like I think less than 1/4 of the United States has passports. So it is something of means and luxury. You're missing out on that part. But go on.
Moving along, it's basically just a bunch of men who go out of the country to find women who are submissive. Which A, is pathetic, and B, creepy. Now, not gonna
Straight shame, insult, and guilt. This is the third one so far. Okay, go on.
lie, I didn't watch this entire video. It's
Didn't even watch the entire video. Admits it herself, but yet has made a 3-minute TikTok shaming the man or shaming the movement.
seemed to be a waste of my time. But from what I got out of it, he says that women need to look inward because we are definitely the problem, and we are so bad that men are having to outsource and go out of the country to find women who need them. Because let's be real, that's what it all comes down to. Let's debunk everything.
Yeah, you're not wrong on that one. Yeah, we would like to find women that need us. Women in the U.S., they don't need no man. What makes us want to stay here? You're missing that point right there. If all women in the U.S. seem to have this, I don't need no man mentality, I'm a boss babe, won't you think that some of these men would start going somewhere else where they feel that they're needed? You're right, that is the big problem.
One by one. This is all because these men want traditional women. Women who cook, clean, and take care of children, right? Mm-hmm. You are quite literally lying if you say that you don't know any women in the United States who will do that. I know.
No, there's people in the United States. For one, you have to sift through them. That's one. And two, you're right, you might not meet their requirements. Two, and they might not stay. Women, just because you talk to women and women say, yeah, I'm willing to do that, doesn't mean they're actually truly willing to do those things. There's plenty of women that get married to do those things and then stop as soon as they get that wedding ring. There's plenty of women that do these things, change their mind, and take the man's stuff. Men are not just looking at women that are willing to do things for them. There's plenty of women that do that. We're looking for the future of, is this person going to take care of my kids? Are they going to be a long-term partner? Are they going to be spending a lot of money? Are they going to be saving money towards a family? All of these things come into fruition. Most women seem to think very what's in front of them. Men have to think almost years in advance because our lives are very dependent on that. Women can do anything on a whim and they'll be perfectly fine, right? This is why men have to fully plan these things out. Yes, you're right. There's plenty. If I talk to women, there's plenty of women that are willing to tell me that they're going to have kids and they're willing to do these things. But that doesn't go into practice.
Plenty of women who are willing to do that. However, they are only willing to do that for a man who is worthy, which a lot of you are not.
I can admit there's good amount of men that aren't, but there's good amount that are, and women think that they're not.
American men have gotten to a point of such delusion that it's not even funny. If women were the problem, statistics would not say that you guys are becoming more and more lonely.
Skewed. Women are becoming more and more lonely. You're missing out on the facts, the percentages. The percentage of men getting more and more lonely isn't growing as big as the percentage of women growing more and more lonely. Women historically were hardly ever lonely. Now 50% of women in 2030 are pretty much going to be lonely. That means you guys change from like a 30% to like a 50%, or 20% to 50%. And men have been what? 60% to 70%. Woo, 10% for men. It's staggering for men because men have the ability to do some evil things. And for women, this never been. This is historically has never happened in all of the world. This many women without mates. That's a problem.
It would be women, right? I don't know. I'm not hearing women get on podcasts talking about what are men going to do if they don't need us. Like, I don't hear women telling men that their standards are too high. In other words, basically trying to convince us that we need them. When the fact of the matter is, we do not.
Yeah, exactly. This is how all women seem to think, that you don't need men for anything at all. Again, men internalize all this, absorbing all this, and saying, yeah, fuck it, we're out.
And that's why you're mad. And isn't it funny how like the same breed of men who tell women all the time that they're going to end up lonely find themselves going out of the country to get vulnerable women that they can control? And just a side note to
Again,
that,
with the
for
vulnerable
one to
women.
want a traditional woman, ask yourself, are you a traditional man? Because this is what American women have to deal with. Men
I can agree with that, but most men are traditional. Yes, maybe most men are not able to provide everything for the women, but it's because most women have such a lifestyle that it can't be afforded by normal income anymore. That's the bigger problem.
who are arguing online 24/7 about whether or not they should pay for the first date. Men who think that paying.
We argue this because we love arguing the things that you love to argue about. When women love to be equality, 50-50, everything, that's the only reason why men argue this. Most men wouldn't care to pay for everything if the women appreciated it, because most women don't appreciate it. We'd rather just go 50-50 and just say fuck it.
For Chick-fil-A means that you have to sleep with them. Men who will die before they open a door for you. Y'all cannot even spell the word chivalry. And on top of that, you cannot grasp the concept before you. If you want a woman who is going to submit to you, cook, clean, have your children, basic adult task, instead of asking her what she brings to the table, ask yourself, can I provide a home for this woman to have children in and cook and clean? 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. Y'all are worried about the wrong things. Because
9 times out of 10, this is exactly how you guys view men. You literally view men as broke dusties. 9 out of 10 men can't take care of their women.
Tell you this, a 50-year-old woman who is single and alone with 50 cats is more happier than this man right here. Sitting in his...
Again, they love to bring this stuff up. No, she isn't. She really isn't. Maybe she is because, cat litter does make women more happy, but she's going to die alone. And guess who's going to eat her body? It's going to be those cats.
His hot car, no haircut, whining about women not wanting men. We're going to go ahead and move into part 2. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments. I'll like and share for more. Any other topics, you guys can leave it in the Q&A box. Bye.
Ooh, I'm all for passport bros. If you want to go somewhere where they're going to love, respect you, cherish you, cook and clean, and they understand their roles, you should go somewhere where you're loved, because women in today's society, especially modern day women, not all women, it's just you guys forgot your roles. You're supposed to cook, you're supposed to clean, you're supposed to love your partner and take care of his heart and soul, just like men take care of us physically, mentally, and they provide for us. They never forgot their role. So men, if you want to be a passport bro, I support it 100%. Have fun.
While I agree with most of what she's saying, I just want to add that it's a two-way street. I think that a man wanting to provide for his family, wanting to provide for his wife, that's definitely noble. But understand that having a stay-at-home wife is a luxury. Many men these days want to find a traditional woman, and I'm all for it, but they tend to forget that you have to be a traditional man as well. As in, you need to be able to make enough income so that your wife has the option to stay at home. Other than that, I agree with everything she said.
Ooh, I'm all for passport.
I mean, you actually don't really need that much income to be a stay-at-home wife. With 70 grand, you can have a stay-at-home wife. Your lifestyle is just not as great as most women want. That's the big problem. My family grew up with I think 60, 70K because we owned a donut shop, and we were perfectly fine. Everything was provided for. We didn't have luxuries and take vacations every year, but I grew up to be a decent person. It is what it is.
Be a passport bro.
Uh-huh.
Passport bro. That's some suspect shit too. Passport bro. Go do that. Every man or every person in life should travel, right? You all should travel. Mm-hmm. Everybody should. Mm-hmm. If you find a wife overseas, bro, that's good. That's good. Mm-hmm. But when y'all start making videos and podcasts saying that the women over here are just so trash. Oh my God, the women are they're so uncooperative. I'm like, oh my God. Like, wow, my goodness. Like, bro, I was trying to talk to her. Like, oh, she didn't say. She wasn't nice to me, bro. You look soft. Getting behind the camera talking about
This motherfucker has no clue the shit that men go through in the fucking West. There's shit called divorce, motherfucker. There's shit called alimony. There's shit called child support. You think it's just that women are all over the place. Yeah, there is women that are all over the place. They're not women that we want to marry. You're a fucking idiot.
women this and women that.
Y'all, when women get rejected, oh, it's deep.
And there you have it.
Yep.
Passport bros. This is why the women hate passport bros so much. They hate them because they are a judgment on the American modern Western woman, right? It's guys saying, I'm not going to marry these women. I don't want these women. I don't even want to deal with them. I don't want them so much that I'm willing to leave the country to avoid them.
Yep.
That's what the passport bros are. And women hate it. So they will not have an honest conversation with anybody within that movement.
It was obvious
they
from
won't
the other
have
clip.
an honest conversation about that movement. Those guys are saying unequivocally that they don't like the mindset and that they of Western women, and that they feel Western women, the principles, morals, the values of these women are not moral.
Correct.
That's what they've come up with. And so guys are leaving the country to avoid dealing with these women. They don't want to deal with these women. And so what are the women doing here? What are Western women doing?
Shaming.
Let me teach you guys something. When somebody cannot control you, they want to control how other people see you.
Yes.
Okay? So the primary tools of folk.
That's exactly what these women are doing. What are they doing? They're making the image of passport bros pedophiles, sex traffickers, and people that take advantage of people up from third world countries
who move like this. And this is feminine energy, right? This is how women,
just like that man before this clip, feminine energy.
Women commit violence against people. How men commit violence is with their fist, right? But women commit violence with reputation assassination. Women commit violence with innuendo. Women commit violence by, character assassination.
Correct.
Right? So what they're doing is they have a straw man argument they've made. These guys are all sex tourists. They're all sex traffickers. They're looking to economically oppress other women. They're looking to try to use their money to victimize women. They're all of this craziness. That's what they're saying about these guys, because they refuse to deal with the fact that what these men are saying, and they're saying it very clear, right? They're not making any channels about sex tourism or anything like that.
No, we're not.
They're not making content trying to advocate that.
Look,
these men are saying,
there's
hey,
some
if
iffy
you
people.
don't want to deal with Western modern women, then you have to leave the West. That's what they're saying. And the women refuse to deal with that, the premise of their entire movement. They instead are straw manning that premise and arguing against their straw man. And it is that you're too weak, your penis is too small, you don't make enough money, whatever it is. That's what they're saying the reason is for why these men are passport bros, why they want to leave the country. And it all boils down to ego. They absolutely hate rejection, even by men they don't.
Y'all, when women get rejected,
how's that chow? So much hate. More like, I try my best to get like as newest clips as possible. These are really new clips, like within the last month or so. A lot more men are starting to hate on this whole movement and just calling other men trash. It's funny that it's like that because we don't judge other people for doing whatever it is. Like, I don't judge people for being gay or doing, what they want to do in their lives. I don't judge MGTOWs. I fully understand why they want to do what they want to do. I, sympathize with them. I understand people that want to get married. They want to build a legacy. They want to build a family. I'm one of them. I understand that people would prefer to travel abroad. I'm also one of those. There's nothing wrong with people wanting to do what they want to do. Like, people trashing us for saying that we trash women here. I don't think that happens that very often. Most of the videos I've always seen is just, yay, it's great over here. Yeah, people are nicer. Well, women are great. You know, those are the videos I usually see. That's the life I actually experience in these other countries too. So please like and subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys next time. It's chow time.